Oh.
What about the Rams?
What about them?
Oh, the Ram ambassador told me to tell you.
Yeah.
I told you we going to the Super Bowl. That's what he told me to tell you. I was with him last night.
Well, you went to the game.
I went to the game.
With Eric Dickerson, our man Eric Dickerson.
It was 65-70% 49er fans.
Wow. The Ram ambassador, you and
Yeah, he told me,
hanging out.
make sure you tell Skip that. So,
I don't remember
we got
that.
it. Edie, we got him. We got him, Edie.
Oh, yeah.
woke up very
Let's see how
happy
much you got me
today.
right now.
Everything came to crystal clear, came to fruition. Why they gave Jared Goff and 2 first-rounders for that guy.
Really?
In the fourth quarter, down by 10. Sean McVay had yet to win a game, trailing by 10 points heading into the fourth quarter. And Matthew Stafford, he had been great all year in the fourth quarter. 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, showed great poise. He was magnificent in the fourth quarter. 11 of 14, 121 yards, and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. He had thrown 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions all year in the fourth quarter. This is why you do it. And Cooper Kupp and OBJ. OBJ. You look good last night, didn't
You should sing Cooper.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what you should be singing.
I could have sworn I should have went that prop bet. I told you OBJ was going to get you a hundo. But Skip,
you did not predict 100
I
yards.
did.
You did not.
Pull the tape.
It was 50.5?
No, I said he going way over there. I said I wouldn't be surprised if he got a hundo.
Oh, you said he wouldn't be surprised.
No. I said he's going way over that. I said he'll be over what he had last week against Tampa.
Okay.
Skip, they played a lot of man coverage.
A lot of man coverage. How about single man coverage?
Yeah, I told you that's what happened.
Yeah.
He exposed it. But anyway, Skip, I can't believe you. Of all people, you nicknamed the man Jimmy Gag.
Yeah.
And then you hit your wagon to Jimmy Gag.
Well, is it my turn?
No.
Okay.
Skip, here's the thing. You knew at some point in the game, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to give the opposing team an opportunity for an interception. You know he's going to give you one. You're just hoping if you're Kyle Shanahan, let him get that thing out the way early. Hopefully we can overcome it. The later in the game it comes, the more debilitating it is. And you knew it was like, damn, Jimmy G's protected the ball the whole game. What's going on? He due for one INT. Had turned the ball over at least once in 5 straight games. Sure enough, got a little pressure. But the Rams Skip, the offensive line for the 49ers did a great job on that front for the Rams the entire game. And then it was like something flipped in the fourth quarter. Because now all of a sudden, he had no time to throw the football. And the Rams were... I don't know if I've ever seen somebody have 18 third down attempts. They were 11 of 18 on third down. If you do that, eventually it's going to get the better of the opposing team. But I thought Matthew Stafford was great last night. He threw for 8 first downs on third down. It shows, Skip, he was the difference. He was the reason why some of the throws that he was making, Jared Goff just can't make those throws. Give those guys credit. They had lost 6 straight times to the 49ers. The 49ers were not in awe of them. They are not afraid of the Rams and all that glitz and glam, and all the stars were out last night, Skip. But the 49ers don't care anything about that. It took everything the Rams had. Could have been a bigger night for Stafford. He had a drop by Cooper Kupp that was going to hit his head on the goalpost. I think his name's Skowronek. Dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone, but Matthew Stafford was the difference in the ball game, Skip. He had one mistake. He forced it on the opening drive, which he didn't have to do that because you're going to get 3 out of it. But outside of that, he was flawless. He was the reason why they won this game.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I got to get a new TV because I saw a completely different game than you're talking about. So, big picture, back to Jenny's question. Biggest reason that the Rams somehow survived this game after losing 6 straight to the 49ers was the number 50, which was the number of rush yards that Kyle Shanahan's rushing attack managed to muster against the Rams front. 50 yards rushing? Did Shannon Sharpe predict that? No, Shannon Sharpe would have predicted at least 100, if not 150, because that's who they are and that's what they do. And the reason I, quote unquote, hitched my wagon to Jimmy Gag was because I thought that the 49ers could keep the game out of Jimmy Gagg's hands. And unfortunately, the Rams forced the game in the fourth quarter right back into Jimmy Gagg's hands. And then what happened in the fourth quarter is exactly what happened when the 49ers made it to the Chiefs and the Super Bowl. Do you remember that fourth quarter? Because they were identical to me, because in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, Jimmy Gag went 3 of 11 for 36 yards and an interception, right? Last night he went 3 of 9 for 30 yards yards and interception. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Does that seem like deja vu?
You knew that.
Yeah. No, I did not know that because I said that Kyle Shanahan against the Rams can force the ball out of Jimmy Gagg's hands and into the running game's hand. And they tried and look at these numbers.
Right.
Nobody could run the ball. Even Debo, that force of nature that is Debo Samuel. I tweeted last night mid-game that in just rage and physicality, just the way he attacks, he reminds me of the greatest player on the other side of the ball I ever saw, Lawrence Taylor. He's got some Lawrence Taylor in him where he just annihilates people. And I thought, well, I don't think they can handle him. Well, guess what they did? They handled him to the tune of 7 carries for a grand total of 26 yards.
Right.
He got loose one time, as you know, for, 44 yards.
That was a screenplay.
It was a screenplay. Okay, it's just a little flip. And he made Jimmy Gag look like Jimmy Good, didn't he?
Yes.
On that play. And Jimmy made a throw or two because he always makes a throw or two because he's been there and done that so many times. He's been on such big stages so often that he's about as experienced a lousy big game quarterback as you could get.
Yes.
And they believe in him, and I think they play hard for him. But in the end, this game fell back into the hands of one Matt Stafford, who, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is who I thought he was. He is exactly who I said he was. He will throw it to you when you most need him to throw it to you. And right away it looked like the Rams are going to seize control of this game. And if we could see what happened down on the goal line, what was it? It was 3rd and goal at the 3. Here's kind of a Super Bowl Russell Wilson play. Remember against the Patriots? He forces it in. The ball gets tipped up. The throw was behind Cooper Kupp because he thinks he could just throw it anywhere to Cooper Kupp and he's going to catch it. And by the way, I thought Jimmy Ward was going to go all the way with this one and he just needed one more block. And it looked like he was off to the races about right in here. I just thought he needed one more block because I thought he could beat 79. But the point is, that was a huge play that made the 49ers think, wait a second, we got him right where we want him because he is the guy who will throw it to you. And I told you the amazing stat of the year was that after they acquired Odell over the last 8 games of the season, they played 9, they got Odell for 8. Matt Stafford led the league in interceptions over the last 8 games, and he threw 4 pick sixes. He will just sort of he'll go haywire on you and throw it to you.
He does sometimes. Skip, that was a 4 situation. You got 3 at worst case scenario, you got 3. The game flipped last night. What happened? He threw the ball down the middle of the field. And the guy
Time out. It's my turn. I think I'm talking right now because I'm about to get to my main point where you say it's all about Matt Stafford. Baloney, it's about Matt Stafford. He did exactly what he always does.
In the 4th quarter.
Here we go. It is 9:55 of the 4th quarter. Can we see the throw down the middle to nobody, please? This is to nobody.
That was to Odell, right? You gonna blame Odell?
I don't know. I don't know who it is. It might be to Odell. It might be to Jefferson.
Mr. Van Jefferson.
I think he just threw it to whoever can go get this.
He dropped it.
And Jaquaski Tartt has been there for 5 years. He's been a nice player for them, quietly nice. And all of a sudden, he's got the ball and the game and the Super Bowl right in his hands. I don't know if he took his eye off the ball. I don't know if he closed his hands a little too quickly, but it hits into his fingers and off his fingers. I don't know if he's looking to run with it because I think he could have run a ways with that one.
No, I think in a situation like that, you just catch it.
Okay.
You catch it and basically the game's over.
That is fine with me. And to Jaquaski's credit after the game, he took full credit for this. He took full blame. It's on me. I let my teammates down, but he did it in the interview and on Twitter. But he also said on Twitter, I will not let this define me as a human being, as a player or a person. Good for him, because you can't take that with you throughout the offseason. You made a mistake. It cost your team. I think the game would have swung wildly back in your favor at that point.
I totally agree. But here's the thing, Skip. In order for this not to define him, what is he going to have to do? This team is going to have to get back to the Super Bowl. Because that Scott Norwood, does that kick not define him?
Yeah, I guess so.
He went to 3 more. They didn't win any. Let me ask you a question. Bill Buckner.
But that was more glaring because Scott Norwood is like end of game. This is it. Do or die.
Bill Buckner.
Oh, this is horrendous. It's just horrendous. That's extra innings. That's do or die.
Raheem Moore did the exact same thing for the Broncos, Skip, when Joe Flacco hit the ball over his head. He was never the same player. You better get back. You better make a play that helps your team get over the hump. or this is the play that the 49er fans and most people will remember you for.
Yep.
Skip, but here it is. You're right. I believe, and I told ED, the moment he dropped that, I said, Skip, I said, ED, the Rams are going to win this game. I said, he just gave them an opportunity. And what did they do? They went right back, down, boom, 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 down the field.
Okay, and to your point, guess who came? He went right back to Odell, who was single covered all night, who is wide open by 10 yards on the sideline.
It's
his longest cut.
Where they tried to trap him, Skip. They tried to trap one.
Okay, all right.
You see what he tried to do?
Yeah, and he is wide open against cover 2, it looks like to me.
It was.
And Jimmy Ward says, what's the book on Odell? What do you do to Odell?
Get physical with him.
You got to get physical, rough him up, and try to sort of knock him out of his comfort zone. And he goes and just blasts him helmet to helmet and gets 15 more. So it's 29 plus 15, and all of a sudden it's 1st and 10 down at the San Francisco 41. Because remember, that they are operating from their 15-yard line on that. That was 1st and 10 from the 15 on the first throw that Tartt dropped. Again, so all of a sudden you go from you're locked up in jail at your 15 to you're at their 41, and they go right on down and get a 40-yard field goal, which, as you know, that made it that tied the game. Okay, there you go. So the whole game swung on that.
Yes.
So to me, Matt Stafford made a lot of good throws, but I got to tell you, you want to talk about a security blanket? Cooper Kupp is unbelievably good. I don't know how he does it, but he puts moves on people like I've never seen one guy put more moves on people. They just said, you can have Odell all you want. We are singling Odell barely, but we are going to try to take this other guy away from you.
Right.
And they would try it with 3. They would try it with 2. And he would beat triple coverage. I've never seen anything like it before.
A lot of times, Skip, they formation you. And they get you outflanked because on the first touchdown, Skip, he ran a 7 route. He's outflanked the safety. So the safety is worried about, man, he might run. What if he runs the post? And once he nodded him to the post.
Are you talking about the touchdown?
The touchdown, right.
Yeah,
and
it was spectacular.
And on the second touchdown, Skip, I don't know what 24 is watching. Get your eyes out of the backfield. The guy that's most dangerous is number 10. Watch him. He's trying to play two. He's trying to look at the quarterback and play Cooper Kupp.
Are they still underestimating him after he won the receiving triple crown?
Skip, you see what the man just put a $183, and he came back and got a $140 plus on
42.
you.
142?
Ain't no
142. You're kidding.
You should not underestimate a man that almost had 2,000 yards receiving. At this point in time, you know he's the real deal, and you should treat him as such.
Okay, so they lost Tyler Higbee early, and we haven't heard the outcome of that. I don't know if he's going to be lost for the Super Bowl or not. But he's been a big weapon for them. So all of a sudden, Odell's star rose because now if they're going to single you, we got to go to you more. What did Odell wind up with? 11 targets, but he caught 9 for 113. Way to go, Odell. I'm happy for Odell that he got to the Super Bowl. I am. I like him personally. I don't always trust him on the football field, but that's a big deal for him and Matt Stafford to get to a Super Bowl that they're going to get to play at home in Hollywood? What?
That seems like a real current thing.
That's a Hollywood story.
Everybody thinking they can go to the Super Bowl. Hey, we won the Super Bowl because we got a chance to play home Super Bowl, Skip. It started with the Bucs and now the Rams a year later. Nobody had ever done it, and now you get it in consecutive seasons. Okay,
so Sean McVay volunteered after the game, we would not be here without Cooper Kupp. Well, I just believe that because he's become an unguardable force. So last night, he caught 6 balls on 3rd downs. 4 of them went for first downs. 2 of them went for touchdowns. That was with 3:26 left. Well, look at the run after catch. He's like cartoon feet. Right? They're just going. People can't stop him.
And it's chewing clock, Skip. But Sean McVay gets too cute. Skip.
He does.
Skip, it's 3.5 a yard. Why are you in shotgun? Okay, you got Sonny Michel. You motion him in the backfield. Then you motion Cooper Kupp out. And then all of a sudden you throw it. Bruh, just get up on the center line and just run the ball. Stop trying to get all cute and outthink everybody. At that point in the game, it's not about window dressing. It's about physicality. We line it up. We're going to get this first down. We're going to keep it moving. Why? Everything's got to be a showcase. Let me show you how smart I am. I'm going to start Sonny Michel out. I'm going to motion him back. I'm going to start the quarterback Stafford up on the center. Then I'm going to motion him out. Then I'm going to motion him back. Then I'm going to put Cooper. Bro, stop. And there's another tail, Skip. Sean McVay, stop running the football every time you take OBJ out. It's a tail now. Every time you take OBJ out, I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it from sitting up in the suite. Every time OBJ goes out, you run the ball.
Okay, because they don't expect OBJ to block, and it's like, here we come. And he also, one other thing about Sean McVay, Coach McVay, as I call him, he's cheerleading everywhere. He's more Hollywood than any of their stars to me. He has gone through the looking glass into Hollywood, and he has to be the center of attention. So anything that's close on the challenge, he's throwing his flag.
Yeah,
and the use check thing, it wasn't a fumble.
You getting the ball back. Skip, I can see if they got the first down and you thought he challenged, like, I got to challenge that.
He didn't make it.
You gonna get the football. What are you challenging?
That it was a fumble, that you checked fumble before he got his elbow down, but he had his elbows down before.
They don't put dirt on the man's coffin. That man done been down there so long, they just say everybody leaving the services. Come on, Sean.
Okay, but they got away with it. And in the end, to me, they in the biggest picture, they got away with it because the front couldn't pressure Jimmy G until the bitter end. They finally started getting to him.
They dialed it up, yes.
Okay, they started getting to him. But just for the record, your man Aaron Donald had 3 assisted tackles. That's all he had.
Yes.
He had 2 hits on the quarterback, and they came in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you that you came alive. Your man Von Miller, acquired obviously from your Denver Broncos, last hurrah, rejuvenation in Hollywood, right? Okay, so he ends up with 2 tackles. He has 1 solo and 1 assisted. He has 1 tackle for loss and 1 hit on the quarterback. So those 2 game records didn't exactly wreck the game. Okay.
What did I tell you was going to happen, Skip? In order to stop the run, you can't get after the quarterback. You can't get after the quarterback.
But to their credit, they stopped Kyle Shanahan's vaunted rushing attack better than anybody I've ever seen, ever.
Yes.
Because Kyle and his father, for whom you play, they flat out know how to run the football because you have 2 Super Bowl rings. The first 2 are, thank you, they are compliments of Terrell Davis, right? Because he could run the football. And it was late career John Elway who needed some help. And he got the biggest help you could ever get because you were terrorizing people with the run, right?
And that was the thing, Skip, because here's the thing. We know that running game can beat us. We don't believe Jimmy Garoppolo can beat us.
Heck no.
So we're going to force the ball. We're gonna make him, instead of just turning the paper into the teacher, nah, bro, we're going to make you do some work. Well, they made him do some work come fourth quarter, and you said what happened. The same thing that happened in the Super Bowl. They made him do some work, and it didn't get done. He was 3 of 10 in one, 3 of 11 in the other.
Okay, and remember, in the second, the final 3 plays were just debacle plays for the 49ers, but in the previous series, they went 3 and out. Jimmy G turned back into Jimmy Gag, because if you get him to that moment, then that's it. And by the way, that's it for Jimmy Garoppolo as a 49er.
Yeah, the curtain slammed, the curtain's down.
The curtain just fell down. It hit with a boom. And he's a good guy, and they love to play for him. And they were way better this year than we all thought they would end up being. But guess what? The Trey Lance era just started.
Yeah, Skip. He's a great guy. He says all the right things. He works hard. And you're right. Guys love playing for him, but he's average. He's only going to do so much. And if you put
what did you guess that Brady was referring to when he said, you're going to keep that?
Mofo?
That MF, right? Yes, we're going to keep it.
That's it.
And I think they wanted Trey Lance to play more, and then he hurt his thumb, and then he couldn't go, and then Jimmy started to heat up because he's capable of having a game here or a game there.
Skip, you can hide players, but only for so long. You can't hide them come playoff. And they did a great job because what were they able to do? They were able to run the ball against the Cowboys. They were able to run the ball against the Packers. And the quarterback had a minimal role. But the Rams...
And remember, special teams rose and shone at Green Bay in the cold.
Raheem Moore said, guys, look, I know we want to get after the quarterback, but the way we get after the quarterback is going to leave cracks. It's going to leave big cracks, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to take some of that pressure off. We're going to stop the run. 20 for 70 is stopping that run, considering we know how they can run the football.
No, 20 for 50.
My bad.
50.
20 for 50. That's really stopping the run.
Really stopping the run.
So that's
shutting it off.
2.5 a carry. You can live with that.
Can you?
Now, fourth quarter, we know you're not going to run the football because time is of the essence. You got to throw it. Now we finna come get you, and you'll give us one.
So remember, Jimmy Garoppolo had a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
Correct.
He had a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter last night. And what happened in the Super Bowl? He got outscored 21-0.
Yes.
And last night he got outscored 13-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he lost 2 fourth quarters of 2 huge games,
Right.
34-0.
Yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he said after the game, I have no regrets about this season. And I'm thinking he doesn't because he thought I did the best I could do.
Right, that is.
You know, but most quarterbacks would say, I stunk it up in the fourth quarter and I have a regret, but he didn't have any.
Well, Skip, he topped off.
He did.
I mean, this is how you.
He did it.
He did everything he possibly could. Whatever you thought Jimmy G could give you, he gave you that.
And obviously somebody someplace next year will probably say, I got to have that because this is all we got.
Yeah, but considering the team that says that, Skip, he's better than what they have.
That is correct.
So, yes, he's going to get an opportunity and going to get big money. I don't know if he gets 40, 50.
No, but
I can see $20, $25 million a year.
I totally agree.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.